Guys, today we'll be finishing lesson 15 in unit 5 and we'll be starting with the third student task statement. In this video, I'll be covering questions 1 and 2, and the next video that I post in this lesson, I'll be covering questions 3 and questions 4. Okay, so let's get started. It says the hiking club is on a trip to hike up a mountain. The members increased their elevation 290 feet during their hike this morning. Now they're at an elevation of 450 feet. Part A. Explain how to find their elevation before the hike. Part B says Hans says the equation E plus 290 equals 450 describes the situation. What does the variable E represent? C. Hans says that he can rewrite his equation as E equals 450 plus negative 290 to solve for E. Compare Hans' strategy to solve to your strategy for finding the beginning elevation. Okay, so let's get started with part A. It said explain how to find their elevation. So let's go back to the problem and annotate. They said the members increase their elevation 290 feet during their hike. Now they're at 240 feet. So when I'm thinking, okay, well, they increased it by 290, now they're at 450. Okay, well, how I would approach part A is, okay, 450 minus 290. And they say explain how to find their elevation before the hike. Well, if I had to write this down or write it into a sentence, I could put that we can subtract or take away 290 from 450 to find the elevation. Okay. So if I wanted to find the exact elevation, even though the problem didn't say so, here's what my answer would be. So I'll put 160, all right, feet, since we're talking about feet. Now, technically, like I said, the question didn't ask that, but hey, I found it anyway. All right. Now, part B says, Hans says the equation E plus 290 equals 450 describes the situation. What does the variable E represent? Now, think about it, right? Han represented the situation with addition. Okay, so that E could be their elevation, okay, before they increase their elevation. Okay, let's put the E, and we could let it be their initial elevation or height. Or you could put the elevation before the increase. Okay? Because that's what we don't know. They never said where they were. They just said that they had a 290 feet increase, and now they're at 450. So part C is saying that Hans says that he can rewrite the equation as E equals 450 plus negative 290 to solve for E. Compare Hans' strategy to your strategy for finding the beginning elevation. Okay, now when we were learning about adding integers, I always stated this. Adding a negative is the same as subtracting a positive, okay? So if we had to compare, it's just that this is Han did the opposite. He used the additive inverse. I'll just say it because I've already introduced you guys to this term. But he used the additive inverse, whereas we just use simple subtraction. Okay? So I'm going to repeat that for you guys because I don't really have that much space to write. But you could say that comparing to our strategy or my strategy that I use, adding a negative is the same as subtracting a positive. This is the additive inverse, okay? Now, the temperature fell. Let's move on to question 2. It says the temperature fell 4 degrees in the last hour. Now it is 21 degrees. Write and solve an equation to find the temperature it was 1 hour ago. Okay, so let's find some quick annotations. Now they want us to write an equation, okay? And then they want us to solve it. Okay? Now, if I had to write an equation and so on, I always tell my students, what's something that we don't know? What's something that we don't know? What are we trying to find in this problem? We're trying to find the initial temperature, correct? Which is the temperature. All right, we could use a T for the temperature. I'm going to put in parentheses before the drop. I'm going to put before the drop. And what I mean by the drop, before the temperature fell, okay? So I'm using a capital T because I don't want y'all to get confused with my addition sign. Or I can put my subtraction symbol. We could say, okay, T, this number, minus 4 would equal 21 degrees. Okay? Now, if I had to say, okay, well, and I know you guys may be screaming at home like, wait, the answer is this, the answer is this, but you're doing something in your head to figure out this answer, okay? So, if I had to solve this equation, right, I could simply, just like what I did, I could add T is equal to 21 plus 4. 21 plus 4. Why? Because if I was to add 4 back to the total that's left over, right, it would give me the temperature it was before it dropped. Okay? All right. Now, negative 4 and positive 4, they're additive inverses to each other. All right. But needless to say, let's finish the problem. I don't want to confuse y'all too much. But T equals 21 plus 4. T is equal to 25. Okay? If you had needed to check your answer, you could plug it in. 25 minus 4 is equal to 21. All right? So, if you had any questions about questions 1 and 2, make sure you refer to your manager's Google Meet session, and I'll see you guys in questions 3 and question 4.